Welcome to another Retro Crazy. This is a recent purchase, but I say recent in the past 3 months. Comes complete with charger, and anybody that recognises these will know immediately that I got myself a Sony PSP. Now this cost me £10 off Gumtree. For those not in the UK, Gumtree is one of these free sites where people can advertise whatever they want to buy and sell. Comes with the memory stick, 2 gig, with a copy of Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories, the charger and the PSP. So why is it only £10? Well, the astute of you will have already noticed the big cracks right along the top. Don't know if you can hear that. So it's cracked. But does it work? Well, I'm glad to say that if I take the charger and plug it in, we should get the power charging light. And more importantly, okay, it's gone flat. Maybe the battery needs replaced. I get an absolutely gorgeous Sony screen. So it needs time and date set, but that's no biggie. Skip through that, and as you can see, it's all working exactly as it should. The screen itself is complete, it's actually the casing that's broken. I can also test this with the game. You can hear the UMD spinning up. And there we are, straight to the UMD. Okay, they've obviously had a pet. Sound seems to be working fine. Memory stick not found, that's fine. It's only for saving. And there's the Rockstar Games logo. The PSP itself is absolutely fine. So that's great news. And there we go. It's working fine, but we have a cracked and broken screen. So what do we do? Well, I took the course of going to one of the sites I use, which is AliExpress, and picked up this. Delivered all the way from China. Maybe not a Sony original, but ignore the scratches, that's the protector inside. What we have is a complete replacement upper, this time without any cracks. Having never taken one of these apart before, I'm going to attempt to fit a replacement top to the PSP. This cost a whole £2.81. Shipping was almost the same cost, but still at £5.12 for a PSP with a case, with the charger, with the game. the effective overall cost of just over £15 in my book is an absolute bargain. More to the point, I'm going to get this back up and running, I hope. And if I don't use it, well, somebody else will. Keep these things alive. Looking around, I can immediately see one screw. Let's take the battery out. I can see a couple of screws under the battery compartment. Water damage indicator is fine. Looks like there's possibly a couple of screws under here. Somebody's maybe been tampering with that one. That looks damaged. But let's see what we can find. So let's first of all remove the outer case screw. And then battery compartment. Appreciably different in size. And then hopefully, no, they're quite deep. Okay, I'm going to pause for a second while I grab another screwdriver. Back with a different screwdriver. Let's see if we can get these out. One. Oh, appreciably tighter than the others have been. These may be self-tapping. So, one, two, will the back case start to lift now? Interestingly, the front case is. However, I'm not sure it's supposed to yet. I will open the UMD tray. No, it's principally the front that wants to come off. Well, that's a bonus if it is, because I was expecting to have to go through the back. No, it's still clipped in. I'll feel around and see if there are any screw holes here. Or if I'm just missing something, which is a possibility. Okay, I am in the lucky position of having this, so if I match it, I can have a look and see where screws are potentially going to be. So that one there was removed. That one is that one. That one matches. Looks like there's two here, but they're underneath this. And the other large one is here. It should equate to somewhere around here. So I'm just going to peel that back and see if there is an access point for another screw tucked away. And looking like there may well be. starting to see what looks like a screw. Don't think I did enough peeled back yet. There we go. One final hidden screw. Tucked away down at the bottom there. Oh, again quite a tight screw, so let me move over to the better screwdriver. Okay, and now our top case has come fully off. Perfect. So as you can see, the LCD screen itself is completely undamaged, and everything I need is right here. Okay, so I now need to transfer everything over to the new case. So these just lift out. They are a little bit dirty, so I'm going to do a little bit of preventative maintenance to give them a clean before I fit them. I really don't want to have to take the whole lot apart again. Put this to the side. And the final thing to come out is the top hat, thumbstick, whatever you want to call it. Actually, I'm lying. You spotted the lie. Because all of the buttons. Alright, thumbstick, cap, and then the thumbstick itself. There we go, and there's our broken case, which, oh my goodness, I really need to pay more attention. What about all the buttons at the bottom? Which do appear to be bonded down in the middle. That strut moves quite freely to there and then stops dead. So just very gently and slowly, hoping it's nothing more than sticky tape. I'll remove it. I can feel it's quite tacky, so I'll swap it back over. Make sure all the buttons come through, which they do. Perfect. So I can refit this before moving on to the cleaning. Making sure it goes fully through. Because at the moment it does not want to. That is why. A little protective dust cover which has popped. There we are. So now I can refit the screws for the thumbstick. These are self-tapping, and this is a new case, so it's going to be a little tighter going in as it cuts its own threads for the very first time. Make sure everything looks fine and is tight, and then pop the thumbstick back on, and it's got full range of motion, so that's absolutely fine. Right, final check. light is there. That's in place, and no other buttons. So this is now consigned for the scrap. Before reassembly, I am simply going to give the contacts a clean to ensure good, safe operation. Using 99% isopropyl alcohol and a Q-tip, cotton bud, whatever you want to call it. I'm actually going to put some onto the Q-tip, and I'm carefully going to rub the surface. Not hard, I need enough just to see if any surface contamination comes off. If you rub too hard, you will take the surface of the connector off and it will cease to function. So don't be over enthusiastic with your cleaning. And finally, I'm going to do a very light clean just on the contacts themselves within the PSP. That's all it needs. No more. Be too aggressive, you will cause more issues than you cure. Now, looking at the screen, I can see some blemishes, so I've got a microfiber cloth. And I'm just gently going to see if I can lift any of them off. None of them want to lift. Sorry, there's a hair. I don't know if you'll pick it up on camera. Having a hair on the screen is not something I want. And neither was the fingerprint I caused by removing the hair. So, control buttons are a little bit grubby, so I'm going to give them just a quick rub. They're actually not too bad. One favourite phrase that I hear is finger juice. Remarkably, they are very good. So either this hasn't been used a lot, or somebody had remarkably clean hands, which is surprising. So I'm looking to see, yep, there is a pin that matches that hole, so that goes in there. We've then got the pad, which will go on this way, he said, hopefully. Apparently my fat fingers are stopping things from going in, as they should. And it just pops over everything and sits there. And then we have this, and again looking at the holes, small holes, larger pins, smaller pins. So it will go in this way with the cutouts neatly going round there. However, it will only go in once you've actually fitted the buttons. Again, button really clean. Either somebody was taking very good care of this or it really is hardly used. And therefore for £10 it's an absolute steal. The seller did say it was his, he had hardly used it, he gave it to his son, who was not as nice to it and ended up dropping it and cracking it, and that's why he sold it. Okay, so X button should be at the bottom. Looking at the tab there, and it does actually say X on it. Yep. Ugh. Yes, they're fiddly. Okay, that way. No. There are 3 ways it can go in, if I'm lucky. Still no. So what am I missing? Okay, the astute amongst you will realise that it's actually upside down, and that this way it would be this button here, which is the top one. So not that way, not that way, that way. Pull this back. So it sits in and the X appears to go to the centre. So with X at the bottom, you should have a triangle at the top. If it's following the same, then that larger tab will go in. Okay, square is going to be a little bit more awkward. Let me think, flip the controller X, triangle, square should be on the left, so square should be this one. It does seem to have a cutout here, which I'm going to guess, and so it clears the edge of the LCD. I'm just going to hold that back while I drop it in. I'm not going to remove the cover for the LCD yet. So therefore, by a process of elimination, there's your find. We then have the rubber, which will go on. And if everything's going according to plan, that should be it. So rather than turning it over and having things falling out, I'm going to turn the PSP over and lay it in position. Obviously, if you're unsure, look for the connectors, so it will go on that way. Alright, so final check. LCD is clear. And right at the last minute, I'm going to remove the protector from inside. Which is very well stuck down, I do have to say. It's a rather thick piece of protective plastic. Wow. hopefully, all things being equal, we should now have a PSP ready to go back together fully. Before I screw anything down, I'm just going to, I know it's a bit artificial with this on, I'm just going to feel how everything feels. It all feels good. Okay, time for some reassembly. So 2 screws, these were both the same length. Like the 3 screws, the 1, 2, 3 were all the same length. And while it's important to get them tight, I would suggest not over tightening. You over tighten and you are going to strip a thread, or worse, you might force a screw through something that is not supposed to have a screw forced through. So, final screw. And we have a PSP. Oh, yes, yep, there is. There's another screen protector on it. I'll leave that there just now. Refit the battery. And the battery cover. Surprisingly, the battery cover is completely intact and unbroken. And that's a common thing to get broken on a PSP. Welcome back. It's finished, it's complete. I've left it on charge. The battery actually just looks like it was flat. And yep, it's working absolutely perfectly now. So well worth the little investment that I did. Yeah, I never said I could drive. Well worth the investment, and very nice for something that was so cheap. Hope this encourages you to look at your damaged system, whatever it may be, because at the end of the day, if it's broken, then you may as well see if you can fix it. What have you got to lose? Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe. Cheers!